Electric Soup Kitchen.
My girl, don't lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? Come on, tell me, baby. In the pond, where the sun don't ever shine. I was shivering all night through. My girl, where will you go? I'm gone where the cold wind blows. Where's that, baby? In the pond, where the sun don't ever shine. I was shivering all night through. My girl, don't you lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? Come on and tell me something about it. In the ponds, where the sun don't ever shine. I was shivering all night through. Shiver for me now. What happened down there? My husband was a hard-working man, killed a mile and a half from here. What happened to him? His head was found in a driver wheel, and his body haven't never been found. My girl, don't you lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? Come on and tell me something about it. In the ponds, where the sun don't ever shine. I was shivering all night through.
Hello.
Hello.
Richard.
You hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can indeed.
Let's rush through this so we can get episode 3 out. Because it's a month late already.
Oh no.
I
What
know.
have the fans been doing?
I don't know. But it's your fault because you couldn't get out of bed. But it was good to see you the other day.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It's a bit chaotic of a meal, but no, it was good.
Yeah, up in Albany, New York. It's small, isn't it? I was surprised. On the maps, it looks like there's more of a centre to it, but
Yeah, no, the actual centre's tiny. It's quite spread out. Yeah, it sort of encompasses a lot of counties.
yeah.
And there's a lot of state offices and stuff.
What's its main thing? What does it do?
Oh, it's the capital of New York. Yeah,
No, but what does it do?
it just does all the government stuff. Like,
Oh,
so there's
right.
lots of government offices up here. All the state work is all based up here.
Right. Well, I'm in LA. Krista's parents. I don't know if I told you this, but they live next to Vasquez Rocks, which has been used as a location in every sci-fi and western. And do you remember that episode of Star Trek where Captain Kirk has a fight with that big green lizard,
Oh yeah,
and he's like sliding down those slanting rocks?
yeah.
Well, it's those rocks.
Oh,
But they're
right.
in everything. They're in Army of Darkness. They're in... I've got an episode of the Old Outer Limits that's all based there. Tremors, Jay and Silent Bob, and Austin Powers. Once you see the Flintstones, all the Flintstones, the Bedrock was filmed around there. And once you see them, once you recognise them, you just see them in everything. Obviously, as soon as they need somewhere with some rocks, they just ship out there. But I'll go out later on and take some pictures and put them on the website so you can see them. Anyway, I had big plans for this episode, but I haven't done anything about them. We were meant to have an astrology section. Meant to have some original jazz music, and I know you like your jazz.
Oh, I do. Especially in magazines.
Yeah, jazz mags. I know you read a lot of jazz mags, so you're very up on what's going on in the jazz world. But I didn't bring any of it. Sorry?
The up-and-comers.
Yeah, up-and-coming jazzers. But I didn't bring any of it with me, or even talk to Jermaine, who's going to do the astrology. It's John Sturman, whose jazz I was going to put on. So I didn't even get that organised. So I'm going to do all that next month. But next month is going to be the big Halloween special as well.
Alright.
So it's going to be spooky. We're going to call people up and get them to tell us if they've had any spooky experiences. And then I've got a really good old-time radio story that's frightening. Because it's a big deal in the States, Halloween, isn't it?
It is. They love Halloween here.
Yeah.
All the yards will all be dressed up around here.
Yeah.
A couple of neighbours usually have a war as to who can get the most things up.
It's not really in the UK. In fact, they do trick or treat in the UK, but it's sort of looked upon as an irritation, really, isn't it?
Well, we used to do it as kids.
Yeah, but the people, when you go around, people are they don't enter into the spirit of it.
Yeah, but in England, especially in York, there's always Mischief Night.
Yeah.
Which is always around, I think it's the night before Halloween in Yorkshire.
Yeah. But that is a Yorkshire thing, Mischief Night.
Yeah.
It's not, it doesn't really exist outside of Yorkshire. When I went to Sheffield, university in Sheffield, I was talking to Barry, and Barry was from Corby, and he'd never heard of it.
Oh.
And people from London, they don't know what Mischievous Night is.
Yeah, but I can't imagine Barry being allowed out on Mischief Night anyway. Before he told him it never existed.
He probably went out, but his mischief was probably knocking on
Not
somebody's
the
door.
postcode on a letter.
Yeah, he'd gone around knocking on doors, asking for directions to places that he didn't really want to go to. And then giggling to himself after they'd shut the door. He listens to this, so hello, Barry.
Truth is stranger than fiction, and this is the proof. This is Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Colonel Peter Jefferson, who was the father of President Thomas Jefferson, could simultaneously upend 2 hogsheads of tobacco, each weighing 1,000 pounds. Believe it or not. In a moment, I'll tell you about one of the strangest robberies in all history. In Lucerne, Switzerland, a grave robber in the mausoleum of General Ludwig Pfeiffer's wife got the scare of his lifetime. The general's wife, who had been interred in the mausoleum the night before, suddenly sat up in her coffin and screamed at him. The lady was still very much alive. Madame Pfeiffer, clad only in a shroud, walked all the way home and lived another 20 years. But she never smiled again. Believe it or not.
News.
Did you hear about the woman police officer moonlighting as a prostitute in Wellington, New Zealand?
Yeah, she just got a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, she got cautioned. They said the officer concerned has been cancelled. But yeah, she was moonlighting. She was trying to pose as a prostitute to catch people, and then she thought, I can make some money here.
She's getting a better hourly rate.
Yeah. And so they had to bust her. But the story I read, there was a quote. It said, it was a spokeswoman for the New Zealand Prostitutes Collective, and asked if she had heard of police officers moonlighting as sex workers. She said, we have law students that are sex workers. We have doctors that are sex workers. I mean, anyone can be a sex worker. But she was earning up to $312 on a busy night.
Wow.
On top of her police pay.
New Zealand dollars?
No, US dollars.
Oh, I was going to say, because New Zealand dollars are like 4 to 1.
Yeah, no, 500 New Zealand dollars. My other story was a young man's. This is one worthy of me and you. A young man's plan to propose to his girlfriend on a small charter plane almost ended in disaster when the plane crashed and the engagement ring was lost in the wreckage. Adam Sutton, 19, told Erica Brissy, 18, they were going on a date to the movies, but instead took her to the airport. The plan was for family members to all hold up a large sign from the ground with the words, "Will you marry me?" on it. But Erica only saw the word marry because part of the sign was obscured before the plane, flying slowly at low altitude, stalled and crashed onto the tarmac at Rome's airport. But they weren't seriously hurt. They could find the ring box, but not the ring after the crash. The pilot was knocked unconscious, and Sutton had to pull him from the plane. So, not quite the romantic proposal. I wonder if she's... Yeah, they need to follow that up. Because that could be a deal breaker, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Just forget about it.
Wouldn't trust him to hold a baby.
Yeah. And then I had when you look for these stories, there's tons of stories about just dodgy Indian doctors cutting people's limbs off for money so they can be beggars, or people setting them on fire. So I'm going to avoid all those ones because there's just too many of them. But there's another one. Thieves in Germany stole 7,500 euros from a man by throwing feces at him and pickpocketing him while they pretended to help clean up the mess. And it was two large women, came up to him from behind and claimed they had seen someone excreting down onto the street from above. And they'd thrown this crap at him after he took his money out of the cash point. And then they get paper towels out and start wiping this guy down. Then another guy comes up and starts helping him. And while they're wiping him down, they picked his pockets. So this was their plan. We're going to go out and throw crap at people and then pick their pockets.
New twist on stinky finger.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's genius or disgusting. Because they must be walking around with a huge bag of crap. They won't be doing just one person.
Oh no, you're not going to, it's got to be a whole day of crap.
Yeah. And then they're just chucking it at people while they're getting their cash out. So if you're stood at a cash point and you get hit by some human feces and someone wants to help you tidy you up.
Is it human though?
Oh no, just feces. Yeah. Well, if you get, I mean, it doesn't make any difference. It's not worse if it's human.
No, but if you give me a crook, you're not going to use your own shit, are you? You'll have to use a dog or something.
Well, you mean they could trace it back?
It's all DNA.
Well, it's got sweet corn in it, and you were spotted eating a salad. But anyway, it's a tip. If that happens at a cash point, don't. If somebody says I've just seen somebody crap from that balcony, can I help you wipe it off? Just say no. I don't need any help.
I said no. It's already on my shoe.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I got stung at a cash point. I got stung with the "you've dropped £10." Do you know that one?
Oh yeah, you told me.
Yeah. Just as I took my money out, and then as I reached for my card, and a guy over my right shoulder had seen my number, and there's a guy to my left, and he said, "Oh, you've dropped £10." And I said, "No, I haven't." And he said, "No, it's £10 there. It's yours." And I thought, "Oh, well, I know that I haven't, but that is £10 on the floor." And as I bent to pick up the £10, the guy of my right shoulder just very quickly took my card out. I didn't see it. I went back to the machine and I was waiting for my card, and it never came out. And then I realised that they'd taken it. But the thing is, then I reported that. So I got because they took it around the corner and just withdrew all the money out of my account, but there was only like 100 quid in. So I reported it to the police. So I got the 100 quid back, and I was £10 up from being robbed. I'd made 10 quid. So I didn't mind that.
And you had a tale to tell.
Yeah, but now always at cash points, I'm waiting for somebody to say you've dropped £10, so I can just look them in the eye and say, I don't think so, mate.
Yeah, I was a bit like, not so much over here, but like the other week, a guy approached me in the car park with the old, I've run out of gas, can you give me money, so I can get home thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, because I've come across it in London and stuff, but never over here.
Yeah.
So I was late getting Liam in the car and everything. As I'm driving out, he's driving out in the biggest, fanciest car you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Well, there used to be two guys in Finsbury Park. One guy always used to wear a neck brace, and he'd say, "Oh, I need £1 for my tube fare home." And he always had this neck brace on. And I said to him, I gave you some money 6 months ago, and you had a neck brace on." And he got really angry. He was like, "Do you think I'm doing this for fun?" And shouting at me. So I got away from him. And then there was another guy who just totally. He was like, "Have you seen Darren Brown?"
Yeah.
Like a mind trick. Like he just totally did this mind trick on me, and he came up and he had like 50p in his hand, and he said, "Have you got any change?" And I thought he meant change for 50p, so I rooted around and I got two 20p's and a 10 out, and I put them in his hand, and he took them, and I was like, "Oh, what do you need change for?" And he goes, "Toothpaste." And I went, "Oh, okay." And then walked off like, "Oh, that's fine." And he just took it.
Well, did he give a little hand wave and say, "You must go home now"?
But because he said toothpaste, in my mind I was like, oh, so I'm sorry, I thought you were taking 50p off me. Which he was. Oh, toothpaste. Oh, well, here's £1 to get yourself some flannelers or toothbrush as well. Anyway, the last story, this was in San Salvador. 4 prisoners in San Salvador jail hid cell phones, a phone charger and spare chips in their bowels so they could coordinate crime from their cells. The 4 men, all gang members, wrapped their phone and accessories in plastic and inserted them into their rectums far enough to reach their intestines. The ruse was discovered during X-ray examinations. The men are members of a ultraviolet gang, which I can't pronounce, Mara Salvatrucha, and they go to such lengths to make phone calls in jail, use the cell phones to manage robberies, blackmails and murders outside. I thought that was quite impressive.
That is quite a feat.
Yeah.
Especially the boy who had the fax machine.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he doesn't take the fax machine out. The paper just comes out of his ass. Fax machine stays up there all the time. It's all wireless, so...
Computer game reviews.
Hello?
Oliver,
Yeah.
it's me again.
Mhm.
What computer game are you going to be reviewing this month?
I'm not.
Why not?
I haven't bought any new ones.
Okay. You know, you said you'd make me a video for the website.
Yep.
Have you done one?
Not yet.
What are you thinking of doing?
Clayman 5.
Clayman 5. So Clayman is a series of stop motion animations that you've been putting on your YouTube account, yeah?
Yeah.
If people want to find your YouTube account and watch them, what's your YouTube name?
Audi 17. OWDI 17.
Yeah. Have you been getting lots of feedback on it?
Sometimes.
So anyway, you haven't done anything. You haven't prepared. In fact, you're on the computer while I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
You've given it no thought. You've had a month. You've had over a month to come up with something. You could have had the most amazing game review. You could have made the most amazing little film. You haven't been at school. You've been on holiday. And what have you done?
Made videos.
Yeah, what have you done for me?
Nothing.
Well, it's not good enough. And I think you're trying to sabotage my podcast.
I'm not.
I think you are. I think you're jealous. I think you want a podcast for yourself, and because you can't do that, you have to sabotage mine.
How?
By not doing any computer game reviews.
Well,
And
I
typing.
haven't got any new games.
Well, what new game do you want?
I don't know. Why are you going to buy one?
Yeah, I'll buy you one. What do you want?
Well, if you find me a game, then I'll play it and review it.
Alright, well, I'll think about it.
Alright.
Alright, see ya.
Alright, bye.
Bye.
Film and television.
I'm going to see Superman in the IMAX in 3D today. How'd you like that?
Oh, does sound good.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think it's all in 3D. I think the action sequences are in 3D.
Well, that'd be good. Because the IMAX 3D is quite a good system.
Yeah, it's two projectors,
Yeah.
I think, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's the
It's
polarized light
Yeah, yeah,
rather than the red and blue.
because that gives you headaches.
Yeah. No, the polarized light's a bit better. It's just a nice system. I've seen the shorts in 3D, and they're quite good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I saw Revenge of the Sith in a digital projection in IMAX, but I couldn't really tell the difference. But I'm going to see that. There was a 3D film festival in LA that I just missed. It ended like the day after we arrived, but there was tons of stuff on that I'd like to have seen. It's all like 50s and 60s stuff, but I'd like to have seen that. But
Very good.
the other thing over here, American TV, all the dramas start at the same time, don't they?
Yeah. I think it's plot by TiVo.
Yeah, I think that's weird that you just get like 8, well more. Every channel has like 8 new dramas that they all start in like the same couple of weeks, and then you're supposed to find what you like, and then they just get rid of the rest, don't they?
Yeah, it's based on the fittest.
Yeah.
And they do stick to their like autumn season, their summer season, and it's all just sort of geared around that.
Yeah. And they just like
Yeah,
throw
'cause
it
there's
up. Go on.
There was a good one I saw last night, Jericho.
Right, I've seen it advertised. I don't know what it's about, but it's the adverts have got some guy sat in a truck with like a atomic bomb going off behind him.
Well, that's it. It's a small town, not far from Denver. On the horizon, they see an explosion, and like the power goes out. They can't contact anyone. It's all about how they cope with it.
So
Well,
it's
they're
like
actually really well done.
it is meant to be like a nuclear bomb's gone off.
Well, you don't know. You know that one bomb's gone off in Denver,
Oh, right.
and halfway through you find out there's actually been a second bomb at least.
Right.
Another bomb in Atlanta.
Oh.
It's actually really well written. And there's a prison van that they find on the highway that's empty. There's now prisoners running around.
Right.
And then
Sounds
there's the
alright.
prodigal son who returns, just taking time to get cut off by the blast and stuff. So, but actually, it's quite well written.
Let's talk about Diary of the Dead.
If we must.
Yeah, this just to make it clear, it's George Romero's next zombie film. It's going to be shot like the Blair Witch Project, like handheld cameras. It's not. It's sort of out of the chronology of all of the other zombie films, so it doesn't follow on from Land of the Dead. It's like the zombies things. It's just
It's more
starting.
than Night of the Living Dead, isn't it? The beginning of that, really.
It does tie in with Night of the Living Dead, but it's present day, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's basically, it's like the zombies apocalypse is starting. And I've read the script, sent it to you, you read it, and what do you think?
I didn't really care for it. I was very excited to read it. It's like, it's Romero's like, the daddy of zombie movies, the expert.
Yeah.
But it was a big letdown.
Yeah, I thought, I heard the idea, and I thought, oh god, that sounds terrible, and I just thought it sounded cheap. But I thought the original idea was that because these students are in the woods and they're making a film, a mummy film, and then the zombie thing happens, and the way I read the idea was that they then carry on and make a zombie film using the real zombies, and I thought, oh, that's rubbish, but that doesn't happen in the script. They sort of go off and try and get home, or they try to get to somebody's house. But I thought I enjoyed it more than I thought it would, and I thought the idea of, have you seen The Descent?
No, not yet.
There's it's really good. It's really worth seeing, and it's frightening, and even just them crawling through the tiny little tunnels puts you on edge when there's nothing happening, because they go potholing.
Yeah.
And they have to get out of and there's things down there. There's like troglodytes down there, but there's a bit on a handheld camera with night vision in that, where I think they've lost all their lights and they're trying to find each other, and somebody has this camera, and it's the first time you see one of these things that are down in the caves, and it's just stood behind somebody as this camera's looking around. It just ends on somebody, and this thing is stood behind them, and it really works. It shocks you. And I thought a lot of the Diary of the Dead, a lot of the zombie stuff read like that, really, like they were going to be, they were just going to appear out of nowhere, and I thought that could be quite frightening.
Yeah, it could be, but I could just see myself getting really bored with the handheld stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I like the idea of some of the stuff, like, say, of the MySpace, or people putting in blogs and stuff as what's happening around the world, and but I thought that should be expanded upon.
Yeah. Well, you like Land of the Dead, Big Daddy, and those zombies just need a home.
I think it was watchable. It was a bit of a joyful ride.
I thought it looked a bit rushed. It looked like he'd been forced to really get it out off the back of the Dawn of the Dead sequel. But I think I told you there's a Day of the Dead remake coming out now. So that could be good,
because Day of the Dead wasn't really much of anything. It was good for zombies, but
as long as it hasn't got the drunken Irish guy still in it. Do you remember him?
Which bit's he in?
In Day of the Dead, he had like a little hip flask. And he would like say, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, and like, as he was fighting the zombies.
Oh, he was one of the soldiers. I was like,
yeah, he was one of the. There was the helicopter pilot, and I think he was like his mate, and he was doing this bad Irish accent, nearly as bad as the.
So that's what I was hoping for. This was because all the zombie films have lacked this sort of scope and scale.
Yeah.
Which nowadays, all the technology, you could have an entire city going under and stuff.
Well, the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Like I said, that's the thing about the Diaries. It just looks and sounds so cheap.
Yeah, it does.
It's like, well, my mate's got a big house. My mate's got a bit of a wood.
Yeah. Well, it is cheap. It's like $5 million.
Yeah, huge granddad's camper.
Yeah. I know. But you can't blame him for having a crack, really. I mean, he must be about 70 odd anyway, mustn't he?
Yeah, he's getting on.
He must be, because I mean, I think he was about 30 when Night of the Living Dead came out, and that was 1969. So he must be like 65 or something.
Ellery Queen's Minute Mysteries. This is Ellery Queen with a case I call the Bathtub Murder. Popular and respected Chauncey Miles was found dead, electrocuted in his own bathtub, and the police asked me to join the investigation. A butler named Brady said that Mr. Miles must have electrocuted himself when he touched a radio by the bathtub. Did he always keep a portable radio by the tub, I asked. No, said the butler, and that's why he's dead, poor man. I searched the bathroom further, and when I found tiny scratches on a pipe near the tub, I knew I had a murderer, the butler. In a moment, I'll tell you why. In the case of the bathtub murder, it's not possible to electrocute yourself in a tub with a portable radio. It's merely powered by batteries. The scratches I found on the pipe proved that the butler had wired the tub for murder. Listen again to Ellery Queen's Minute Mysteries.
But talking about computer games, did you look up at any clips of Dead Rising for the Xbox?
I saw a little bit.
Yeah, that looks good.
Just a bit of a trailer.
That looks good. I don't really play computer games. Do you still play them?
Yeah, quite a bit.
But I get tempted every now and again, maybe like once or twice a year. But I can't remember the last game I played. But
well, there's an interesting one coming out called The Ship.
Yeah.
And basically the idea is on that is it's all online game, and you're on this old like Victorian cruise ship. It's a bit of a shoot 'em up, but you're told you have to kill a specific person.
Right.
So you got to find out who that player is, and then find a way to kill them.
All right.
And everyone's got a list of someone who they want to kill. Which so it's interesting, sort of psychological.
Yeah.
First in the computer games, they actually go in after a specific person, not just generally red team against blue team.
So you have to meet people and talk to them and try and figure things out.
Yeah, find out who they are and then follow them till they go in a dark corner and
then
do them over.
I presume when you attempt to kill them, they can fight back and stuff and kill you.
Oh yeah, and there's things like a medical bay you can go to.
That sounds good.
Patch yourself up. There's all different weapons lying around and stuff.
There's an online game, isn't there, called City of Heroes, and there's also one called City of Villains, where you can. It's a bit like Star Wars Galaxies. Do you know that one?
Yeah.
But you basically you create a superhero, and it's online, so everybody creates these heroes, and you just go around like solving crimes in this huge online city, and you set up your apartment and your identity, and you get points for how good your hero is. But I don't like talking to other people when I'm playing games. I like games that's just me. I don't like sharing my enjoyment. But there was another, Dead Rising for the Xbox. That almost makes me want to buy an Xbox and play it, but I can't give up the time really, because I get totally obsessed and just sit on it all day.
Oh, that's a young father, see.
I know. So what, are you going to do anything for Halloween?
Yeah, we'll be dressing the kids up. Still enough to last us for the year.
Do what?
Probably going to do something in the yard, if only to annoy the neighbours. We're going to put something up in the yard, if only to annoy the neighbours.
We're going to have a little party for Franklin and some of his friends, and we've bought a load of stuff over here to decorate the house with. So we're going to have a little Halloween party. So I think I'll take some video of it and put that up on the website. Well, listen, let's wrap it up then, because the technology's letting us down. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
All right, good. Well,
you ever change twang every time you finish your sentence? It's like you got last end.
Although what? Oh, I can see what it is.
It's like you're twanging an elastic band at the end of every sentence.
Yeah, I am twanging an elastic band at the end of every sentence. What's your problem?
Well, if I'd have known I'd got one too, they'd go like, over twang.
Well, I didn't realise you were into that, but yeah, I've got 5 minutes, go get some elastic bands. No, I can see what it is. It's the wireless where I am. It's dropping in and out. So anyway, that's it for this month, and next month, big Halloween special. It's going to be a bumper issue, and it's going to have lots of new music. And I'm going to say the astrology, your stars. You're going to know what's coming up for years ahead, and some scary old time radio. We still need submissions or emails. The webpage gets a few hits, so I have no idea how many people have subscribed. But if anybody's got anything, they can send it in to Marcus at electricsoupkitchen.com or Richard at electricsoupkitchen.com.
Have you not had anything?
I've had anything sent in.
Offering you their dead brother's money?
I haven't had that. I've had one comment on. There's like a comments page on the website, and I've had one comment on there, and I couldn't tell if it was sarcastic or serious. Did I tell you that?
No.
There was one comment saying it was all written in block capitals, which makes you wonder if it's like somebody's shouting at you when they write in block capitals. So
that's the crayon computer word.
That's the what?
That's the crayon of the computer.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they're written in red crayon, green crayon. So, and it said, "When's the next episode? I need to hear more baby talk." so I wrote back in a few weeks. And do you want us to talk about babies, or do you want us to gurgle and cry? Because we're capable of doing both. There's lots of music. Got lots of music to put on, new music. So that would be good. But I just haven't had a chance to put it together for this one. So that's it. So thanks for listening to episode 3, and episode 4 will be out at the end of next month, end of October, for the Halloween special. Thanks, bye.
Bye-bye, pretty baby, baby, bye-bye. Bye-bye, pretty baby, baby, bye-bye. Well, if I'll never see you anymore, may God bless you everywhere you go. Well, it's bye-bye, pretty baby, baby, bye-bye. God bless you everywhere you go. Oh, it's bye-bye, pretty baby, baby, bye-bye. I tried to love my sweet one, but she couldn't understand. I tried to love my sweet one, but she didn't understand. Well, I tried to love my sweet one, but they won't seem to understand. But I know she realized the trouble since you've had another man. So it's bye-bye, pretty baby, baby, bye-bye. Bye-bye, pretty baby, baby, bye-bye. Well, if I don't ever see you anymore, may God bless you everywhere you go. Oh, it's bye-bye, pretty baby, baby, bye-bye.